Hi, let me show you how to set up Collaborate in your own D2L section. And keep in mind that Collaborate is handy for snow days, sick days, one-on-one classroom times, uh, office hours online, online presentations, and even guest speakers in your class can join you via Collaborate. And that way maybe you could get them for free because they don't have to travel. So to start, you go into a section where you're an instructor and click on Other and Blackboard Collaborate. Okay, as you can see, I haven't created any Collaborate sessions yet. I'm going to click on Create Session and enter a session name. We'll call it Collaborate Practice because this is going to be where we do our Collaborate practice. And you can have Collaborate sessions where it starts and ends at particular times, but I like to just keep a Collaborate room open. And you can also allow people to come in early, like 30 minutes early, to come in and get situated if you want. Under Options, you can grant participants full default permissions, like the whiteboard, the chat, the audio, and the video. You can say when they enter, everyone is a moderator. This means they'll have the ability to do anything that you want them to do in the session. So the reason that you would choose everyone as a moderator is if you set up Collaborate sessions for your students to come in and work with each other or as groups without you. And so you would say everyone is a moderator so that they can go ahead and use the whiteboard and the chat and the audio and the video and record stuff for whatever purposes, so that you didn't have to be in there with them. I'm not going to make everyone a moderator because I want to show you the difference when we get in there. I'll make you moderators while we're in the session if you want. And then hide attendee names and recordings. So if you're going to record sessions for use as videos later, you may want to, for FERPA, hide attendee names and recordings. Enable session teleconferencing so that people can dial in on their telephones. And this is another neat feature of the Collaborate, is that if you have a student who says, I tried to get in the Collaborate session, but I couldn't, my computer wouldn't work, whatever, you can tell them just use the phone number that's provided. You can dial in and you can listen to the session. Private chat messages are supervised. I would say definitely you want to supervise those. I mean, on the random off chance that students are bullying each other, you want to be aware. Participants raise hand upon entering the session so that you know when students come in, so that you can greet them. You know, this is a nice practice, except you have to go in and lower all the hands. It just seems to me that it's easier, unless you have like 300 students and you really want to greet them all, you might not want to check that box. Recording mode, manual. This is so you click on recording at the top right when you go in if you want to record a session. If you want, for example, everyone to be a moderator, students to be able to go into their sessions automatically, recording whatever they do so that you can grade it. Maybe you teach a foreign language and you want them to go in and have a speech where they greet each other in the foreign language in groups. Then you could say automatic recording so that those recordings would automatically happen when they enter the room and they exit the room. It would start when they enter the room, it would stop when they exit the room, it would send the recording to you in your D2L section under the recording button here, and you could grade that. Disallowed if for some reason you don't want students to be able to record each other or their sessions. The maximum simultaneous talkers, really 6 is the max and 6 is probably enough. The maximum simultaneous cameras. Students can turn their camera on when they come into the D2L Collaborate session so that you can watch them, or the Blackboard Collaborate session. I'm just going to leave it at 6. Students rarely do this. 6 is probably enough. Under content. Okay, so if you want to use a video during your Collaborate session. You want to show a video that you have on your computer. Then you can upload it here. Or an audio file, an MP3. You can upload it here. For PowerPoints, you would do that in a different way. So don't worry about the PowerPoints here. Okay, so we're going to say create session. Alright, so here's the information about the session. Students will get this if they want to dial in, then you can tell them, this will show, and you can tell them, dial in and use the pen. If you're having a problem and you're the moderator, just the moderator dial in. If you want someone to come and give a speech in your class, for example, when I teach technical writing, I have a colleague who works for Siemens as a technical writer, and I give her this link, and she can click on it and she can join us. She doesn't have to go through D2L. All I have to tell her to do, and this is something you want to tell all your students to do, and anyone participating with you, is have a pair of headphones. You're always going to have someone who says, I don't need headphones, I have, a camera, I have a mic, whatever, I don't need headphones. You get into your Collaborate class and there's a bunch of feedback because somebody's not using headphones. So you may be sitting there right now saying, I'm not going to I'm going to do this without headphones. And you know what? It might work. It might work. And then again, you might be in the middle of your session and there's feedback everywhere. So I totally tell people to get headphones with a mic. It's $10 at Walmart. And the other thing is update your Java. Go to your Java updater, update your Java. Plug in your headphones, then click on this link, and it works fine. Okay, so that's what that link is. Options. This is all the stuff that you checked earlier, and content. This is all the stuff that you checked earlier. Okay, you can say join, or you can leave this here and say, okay, this is created. After you have entered a Collaborate session, which you do by clicking on, this is what it looks like. This is the JNLP file. Tell it to keep it. You want it to open up and do its thing. I'm in Chrome, so it's going to look like that. It's going to look different for you if you're in Firefox. It just opens up. Tell it run. Okay, this button's going to come up, recording not started, start recording now. Tell it no. And yours will look a little bit different because you're not a moderator yet. But here is the audio startup wizard. You want to tell your students, look for a little microphone with a red star on it. Click on it and run the audio setup wizard. So this is what it looks like inside. The audio setup wizard you want to run. If you want to, if for some reason the audio is not working and you want to switch to your telephone, you can do this. You can click there and it'll show you how to dial in to be a moderator. That happens sometimes, especially when I'm working with people who have really slow connections at their campuses. When I ask you to vote, I'm going to say, you're not going to see this. I'm going to say, I want to have a polling type. I want it to be A, B, C, and D, and it's going to change this right here, and you can vote with this. You can raise your hand here. You can have smiley faces or emoticons here. And if you're going to step away from the session for a second, maybe your phone has rung and you need to answer it, you can say away, and that lets us know that don't call on you because you're away. The whiteboard, again, you won't see this right away. The whiteboard is this. That I'm clearly, I have to uncheck this. Okay. Okay, well, yeah, there we go. So you can write, you can pull a picture up and you can write. This is application sharing. So I could say, you know, I want to share anything on my browser with you. You could see anything on my desktop if I wanted to share the desktop, show you how to use Microsoft Word, for example. Okay. To get out of this start sharing, we go back to the whiteboard. Back to the whiteboard always takes you out of whatever it is you've started. I can pull pictures up and draw on maps. These are all preloaded. And then for a web tour, this is if I want to show you a YouTube video or something like that where there's sound. Really, a video with sound is a web tour. And back to the whiteboard to get out of that. If I want to show you a PowerPoint, I go to Load Content. And it will let me go to my desktop and find a PowerPoint and upload it, and then I can move through the PowerPoint. See if I can find something that's reasonably short. Guess not. I think this is reasonably short. So it generates images. It converts. It's opened my PowerPoint, so I saw it open on the right-hand side of the screen, and up it goes. Okay, and so this is what I see. You will see the PowerPoint. I will see this, and I will use these to move through the PowerPoint. So that is a tour of Blackboard Collaborate. There's a chat box down here. Your students can chat with you or with each other. And also, two more things to show you as you're moderating. This is a control panel right here where you can lower everybody's hands. You can make it so that people can't do video, so you would have to go in and uncheck that. Here's another control panel where you set up the polls. And I will show you polls in the presentation. And then here's another one where you can work with the chat. And then here's yet another one where you can deal with making the video follow the speaker. And that means that, like, if a student wants to speak and has video, his or her picture will show up in that big spot right there, which I can also put my, yeah, so that's where the video goes. Yeah, you should all dance in the video while we're there. So that is Blackboard Collaborate, and it's very cool, and if you ever used Wimba, it's less clunky, and it's still, if you're going to have more than 8 people, you don't want to have everybody trying to talk. You want to do a presentation. If you want to have a discussion, you want to keep it pretty small. So I hope you enjoy our Collaborate session. I think you will.